So we called out UNH 302, 305, 307.5 calls. Pretty affordable, especially the 307.5. Not expensive at all. Had a good monthly setup, good weekly setup, and it's actually more than that. And I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna show you guys. February 7th expiration. United Health was up $4 today, right? $4.33. And going to the next one, Goldman Sachs. This was just a lottery because it had earnings, right? So it was more of a gamble than an actual signal, because I was just anticipating that this thing was going to beat earnings, right? And it paid off. So this week itself it's up $5. So that's a big move that people have caught. SPY 2-3 weeks out, right? The last Tuesday, either the 17th expiration, the 21st, 24th, 27th, or 29th. Very cheap contracts, so all account sizes, doesn't matter. You would have made money. This thing is up $2.58 this week. So $2.58 on SPY. That's actually like 250 points on the whole overall market, like the S&P 500, right? Because this is SPY. A dollar move on SPY is already a big thing. It's a major thing. So yeah, so that's the 5 different ones. So also we called out Beyond and AMD. Beyond actually went from 117 when we took our positions, and then it went all the way down to like 105, 106, which is pretty insane. But that's besides the point. So I'm gonna show you guys. So this is like the key thing to building your account size, right? I'm assuming that mostly everyone here don't have that big of an account, and even if you do, you're this what I'm about to show you will actually help you tremendously. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this method before, but I'm kind of gonna go more in depth with it now, because I want everybody here, right? I want everybody here to take advantage of this, because obviously you've seen that the swings have been working, right? The swings have been paying off, right? Instead of attempting to day trade and making 100, 200 bucks off of, every single trade that you're hoping to sell within the next 5-10 minutes, why not just swing something, right? I know swinging is risky, but when you find something good, right, you kind of have to take that risk. And, obviously, as you can see, it paid off. So look, this is what I look for first, right? Can you guys see my screen clearly? Give me 1 second. Okay. So first you want to look at the 4-hour chart, right? This is the key here, right? Listen to this. 4-hour chart. 180 days, 4-hour chart. So this is 180 candles right here, right? This whole chart, this whole thing, it's 180 candles. So you're looking at a really big picture, right? So look, what I saw on HD, right? Let me fix this real quick. Can someone tell me what I saw on HD on Tuesday? So from here. So tell me what I saw on HD on Tuesday, and tell me what I saw on HD on Wednesday. Other than the bull flag that you see, right? This is a bull flag, guys. A bull flag is a pattern where it is consolidating in a range and it is looking to break out in the upward direction. So what else other than the bull flag do you guys see? There's several different factors that are coming into play now. So a lot of people said solid support levels, they didn't break support, it's holding the level, it's a critical level, right? So look, if you look at the bigger picture, right? Look at the bigger picture. So look what it's doing, right? First of all, look at this trend line. I don't know if you guys can see this trend line clearly. Let me make this thicker. So there is that trend line, right? There's that trend line that it kept breaking down, going up, right? Other than the trend line, right? Look at this, right? So not only, right? Not only did it have a bull flag, it's also at that solid support level, right? This is key here. Sometimes you can't see this on a daily chart, right? It's at a solid support level. It's at a level where it usually just bounces off of. And then look at this. Just the past, just from the 13th of January, right? That's a lot of volume compared to, look at this. Okay, this is important here. Compared to the last month. Okay, let me do this over again. So compared to the last month, it's showing an increase in volume, right? All of a sudden, it just blew up like out of nowhere in terms of volume. So you can see that these buyers, right? They're just getting ready, right? Even though the price was kind of going down, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, you can see the green volume, right? So that was what I was looking at, right? So all these different factors, I was like, okay, you know what? This is definitely a good swing. And then look, literally from about 222 all the way to 228, this thing is insane. So I want you guys to be able to do this, right? So you can spot this on your own, okay? You can look for these, and then you can get into your own positions, right? And these things are just like buy and hold. You just buy it and hold it. Don't even look at it for the next day or two, right? Sometimes the price action of the day can mess up your train of thought, mess up your whole, the psychological aspect of it. If it goes down during the day when you think it's gonna go up, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna sell this. Well, no, you got to stick to your plan, right? Stick to what you planned to do, right? How many of you guys have ever bought swings and only to sell it before you're supposed to sell it because the price went down and you couldn't take it? Like you couldn't take seeing your account go down that day. A lot of people, right? It's all about patience, especially if you have a small account. People say it's impossible to trade with a smaller account. Well, no, if you can find some good swings, like the guy in our group that freaking, started with, what did he start with? A freaking $100, and now it's at, what is it at? See if I can find it. 2,652, right? He was swinging stuff. Okay, he was swinging stuff. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the account size that you guys have. It doesn't matter. It matters what how you're trading with it, right? If you have $100 in your account, if you have 500, if you have 1,000, if you have 2,000, right? Don't trade like you have a $10,000 account. Don't do that. Don't do what a big account trader would do. Don't do that to your account, right? Don't trade like that guy. If he's buying Tesla and Amazon, um, hoping to sell it in about 5-10 minutes, don't be like that, right? He has the funds to afford it, right? Even if he makes a lot of money, it's just like on your on your end of the stick is just it's gonna be a lot harder, right? It's gonna be a lot harder, and then it's just gonna take more of a toll on you, especially if you're someone who hasn't been making money like that, right? It really trust me, it really takes a toll on you when you start losing money and you've never made money like that in the first place. It's just a confidence um it just lessens your confidence. It just doesn't make you as confident as you want to be, right? So this is why it's important for swings. Like, for example, looking at like this area right here, this whole congestion, right? This wasn't really a good time to swing anything. Okay. So we've come to a period of time where I feel like swinging can actually be good. What do you guys think? Okay, so you guys see this resistance on HD, right? This one right here. If it breaks this, what area do you think it's gonna hit? Based on what you guys are looking at right now, based on what you guys see. You can zoom in. You can zoom in on your phone. So this top support line is 239 right here. Resistance, I mean. This is a daily chart, yes. So once it breaks this, you think it's gonna get up here? And if you do, why do you think it's gonna get up here? What there is something on the chart that you guys are missing right now. Exactly. Exactly. Abdul, Justin, shown up, and Gilman said it right. There is that gap fill, right? Is it a long shot? Nah, not really. It's not really a long shot. It's freaking, you know, what is it? It's $6 away, but it's possible. Okay, they might be stirring something up. Um, gaps, right? Gaps they fill a lot of the times. They're usually always getting filled, but you don't. The thing is about gaps, you don't know when it fills, right? The thing is, this thing, for all we know, this thing can go like this, then like this, then like this, then like this, then like this, right? Then like this, then like this, then like this, then like this, then it can go like this. You don't know what's gonna happen, right? All you're doing, right? All you're doing is just taking a calculated risk, right? Based on what you see, what the price is doing, and you're just going off of what the price is telling you, right? You're executing based on what it's telling you, and you're not hesitating, okay? You don't know what's gonna happen. For all we know, this thing can tank, right? Price action is king, okay? So with that being said, HD is what we're swinging right now, and we're expecting this gap to fill, okay? Not a lot of people know that this is one of the reasons why it might go up, but now that we look at it, there is that gap to fill, okay? For example, you guys see this gap? When did it fill? It filled like freaking 2 weeks later, right? So you don't know when it's gonna fill, but this thing might just fill, okay? That's why we're taking this position, because first of all, we're already up, right? We're already in profit. Why not just hold it, right? This thing, if you invested like $200 into this, going 2-3 weeks out, and this thing fills the gap in less than a week, you're gonna make like $2,000, 3,000. I don't know, a lot. Definitely gonna be like a 400%. 300%er. So that's for Home Depot. This is so you guys got the reason why, right? So now you can apply this to your own analysis, right? So you guys are asking about the strike price and the price of the contract. So that's not the whole point of this. The whole point is riding the price, right? Riding the price up. You're gonna make money regardless. And going out of the money, it depends on your account size. I can't tell you to go 230, 229, 228. What if you only have $200 in your account? Are you really gonna go 228? Right? If it's gonna cost you your whole account, obviously not. Okay. When you guys are taking swings, okay, make sure it's not too far out, but make sure it's closer to the money enough for you to be able to afford it. Okay. Don't go $100 out when you know you can't afford it. You're not gonna really make anything, right? So the whole point of this. So did you guys understand the whole reading the price action part of this swing so that you guys can apply this the next time you want to look for swings, okay? That's the important part of this. It's not buying the price, it's not when to buy, it's not which one to buy, but it's why you should buy. Okay? So moving on to the next one, gonna go to beyond and um why I wanted to see puts. So going back to HD, right? I mentioned the 4-hour chart. Now let's say if you look at, you know, even the daily chart. Look at the daily chart. It's the same thing, right? Flag, right? Flag. Weekly, looking at the weekly. Yeah, weekly looks pretty strong, but it wasn't the reason why I called it. Even the daily, I there is this candle right here on HD that was kind of weird, but just the fact that the volume had increased on the 4-hour, I wasn't really worried about what was happening on the daily because like I said, it still kept right. It still kept that bull flag formation. Okay, it didn't go all the way down here. If it went all the way down here, it would have been a different story. I would have been like, all right, this thing is just doing some weird stuff, right? So going to beyond, called beyond on Tuesday, on this day actually, this day right here. So I wasn't even looking at the daily for that either. I was looking at the 4-hour. So this is what happened right here. I saw this whole look at this volume, okay? Look at this selling volume. This selling volume was just crazy that day, okay? So the reason why I signaled this was because this thing has been running for the past since Monday for it was I mean it's so odd to see something that's been doing this, right? Something that's been doing that for the past freaking 5 months, and to see it just blow up like that and to see it continue further than what is expected, right? So for it to go parabolic, understand that there are people who bought at the bottom of this, right? There are people who knew what was going to happen to beyond, like people like banks and stuff. They probably bought into this earlier than everybody else, right? So understand that these things sell off, right? These things are always going to sell off eventually. It's just a matter of when, right? And that when happened this day, right? You can literally read this just looking at this candle. Like, look how many sellers there are compared to how many buyers there were that day, right? If you see something run up like this, you would expect it to keep running, right? So the fact that it showed that that selling pressure just goes to show that, okay, this thing isn't as strong as everybody's making it seem, right? So that's the reason why I kind of, I signaled the puts. So I put, like, if you can afford this, then you should buy it, right? And it definitely paid off. Okay. After hours and pre-market was just crazy, right? Went down like $9. You know what I mean? Opened up here. So the thing is with Beyond, it's so crazy volatile during the day. It's like it'll be one directional in terms of looking at it from like a weekly chart or a daily chart. It'll look one directional, but when you're looking at it during the day, it's just like, okay, look at all this price action, right? So you got to be careful with these types of names, okay? Look at all this price action. It's a lot of up and downs, right? But for the most part, it was bearish for the day, right? It went down, but imagine how many people got caught into these, these reversals, thinking it's gonna go back up and reverse and maybe go up to here, right? Or people who bought here, right? You guys gotta look at these things too. Like, this is so important, because what we're doing right now is we're reading how people are reacting to the price, right? So so this thing right here, so this candle itself, I'm pretty sure a lot of people bought here, right? Look at the volume. The volume was decent, right, compared to the previous volumes. So imagine how many people bought here expecting this to go down here for them only to lose money, right? So understand that names like Beyond, right, this fake meat, right? No offense to, all the vegans, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, when you're trading high volatile stocks, even if it's one directional, you will literally, it'll be a little hard for you to catch, especially if you're day trading. If you're scalping, that's a different story, right? All we need is 2-3 minutes and that's it, right? But if you're day trading with a smaller account, of course, psychologically, you're gonna want more, so you tend to hold longer than everybody else, because you're always gonna want more, right? Always gonna want more. So somebody asked, what are the best stocks that are one directional during the day? I don't know. You don't know that. I can't tell you that, because I don't know what's going to be one directional tomorrow. You know what's been one directional? Apple. Apple's been one directional. Microsoft's been one directional. Nvidia's pretty much. So you don't know, right? You don't know what's one directional until after it happens, right? What's next? Let me see what I was looking at too. So you guys got that part for Beyond as to why I signaled the puts, right? You guys understood that? Are you guys gonna start taking these strategies into consideration and applying it? You guys should start doing it today. At least take some time today to just go look at some names and just try to. This is the thing, right? The thing is, it's trial and error, right? It's trial and error. It's just literally like, you have to spend time reading these charts, right? Especially when you first start trading. Okay, it's a good thing to spend hours looking at charts, because what you're doing is just like if you're a student driver, right? The more hours you spend, the easier it gets, right? The more hours you spend driving, the better you get at driving. The more you drive in traffic, the better you're able to drive through traffic. The more you drive on the freeway, the easier it becomes for you to go, freaking, zigzag through the freeway. So it's all about, you know, it's all about spending time. Okay. Once you understand it enough, that's when you can, you don't have to spend that much time. Because, if you compare it to driving, if you've spent 100 hours practicing how to drive, once you're good at it, you want to spend 100 hours a week driving again? Like, the whole point of spending that 100 hours was to be able to get used to it so that the next time it becomes easier. It won't take you as long to notice things, right? It won't like, for example, you guys are brand new. It's going to take you a while to figure out, plays for yourself, right? You have to build that confidence first. So what you should do after this class today is look at some names and just try to go to the weekly chart, 4 hour, whatever, look for patterns, write them down. Okay, write them down on your journal, write them down on your phone, your iPad, whatever. All you're gonna do is just try to see, okay, so this thing might go up to here because of this, and then see if it does happen, right? You're not, even if it does happen, you're not, don't, because some people, like, literally some people will call themselves, oh, I predicted this, I predicted this, I predicted this. No, you didn't predict anything, right? There was some factors that happened in the market that allowed the price to go up how you wanted to, and it was out of your control, right? That's the harsh truth of it. You don't predict this thing. I could have, I could have been, for all the swings that I called this week, I could have called myself a freaking market god or freaking a predictor. But no, this market will literally humble you. This market will literally take your money from you before you even know it. So understand that. Understand that the next time you see somebody, be like, oh my gosh, I called this. I'm so good at this. No, you're not. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But so now that you guys understood beyond two as to why I called it out, the reasoning behind it, I'm gonna go on to what was the next one? I forgot. Knock. Okay, knock. Knock was a good one. You guys, I didn't show you guys knock yet. Last Tuesday I said knock calls, strikes 375, and expiring on the 24th. So next week, right? So knock. This, I called this on Tuesday, 10:57. So I called it around here. I called it here. This is where I called it. Again, I'm just showing you, not because I was right, but I'm showing you why. Okay. So look, called it right here. 10:57, 373. Guess what it's at now? Can you guys see that? It's at 384. That's a $10 move. You guys know how much money you could have made off of that? A lot. So this is why I call this. So there was some piece of news in regards to Iran, a base in Iraq. There was news that day about a base in Iraq being hit or something, right? That's the only reason why I was immediately thinking about knock. So I immediately looked at the charts, right? Immediately, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look to see what's happening with knock. And then I looked at the 4 hours, and look, guess what happened? Oh, I'm sorry, let me do this one right here. Right, what did it do? It held that support level, didn't it? On Tuesday. Created, see that? Yes, I see how it created that support level. It wouldn't go up, it wouldn't go down, okay? It wouldn't go up, it wouldn't go down. So I saw that, I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I looked at the daily. Guess what happened in the daily? I had deleted this, but I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm going to redraw it. I'm going to redraw it for you guys, but you guys tell me what it is that you see. This is remember, this is Tuesday right here. This is the middle. So this is Tuesday. Try to guess what was forming, what has formed. I haven't drawn it yet for you guys, but you should be able to see it. One person's right. Someone said symmetrical triangle, triangle, both flags, shooting star, both flags on support, triangle, triangle, both flags. So it is a triangle, okay? Look at this. This is nice. So this is what had formed on Tuesday, okay? I was like, you know what? This is crazy. Especially with the news that had just came out that day, I was like, you know what? This is definitely going to be a swing that can pay off potentially, right? Because knowing how NOC moves when there's any news regarding the military, this is a military, this is a defense stock, right? Any anytime we go to war, you buy NOC, right? So look for these patterns, okay? These patterns are golden. It's like the most basic thing you can do, but it's the best help you can get, right? Even if you look at the freaking the weekly chart. Let me take off this triangle so you guys can see it clear. What does the weekly chart show you, first of all? Right? There's buyers right here, buyers on the weekly chart. You know how strong the weekly chart is? There's buyers here right at that level, right? Right at that level. Understand where the buyer is. The important part isn't that there are buyers, but where did they step in? At what area did they step in? Are they stepping in at an area of value, or are they stepping in, in a random area? Are they, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So also this followed by an already big swarm of buyers here. So the buyers that are here haven't left the game, right? They haven't left the game. So this, when you compare this two candle play here to this one, it's different. Even though it went up that day, you know why it's different? Because there wasn't a lot of previous buyers from the day before in the first place. Whereas this one, I'm sorry, the week before. Whereas this one, last week, look at all these buyers. How many people do you think are currently in this right now? A lot of people. So understand that when you guys are looking for swings, you always want to look at what's happening. If you're looking at a weekly chart, what's happening the previous week. If you're looking at the daily chart, what's happening the previous day. Doesn't have to be what happened last week, but read what's happening the previous day or the previous 2-3 days, right? Because you got to kind of think like, okay, if I'm looking at this first swing, there is going to be people that are going to look at swings for this too, right? So understand that it's important to look at what happened the previous day, because that's the closest thing you can get to seeing where the buyers and the sellers left off, right? That's the important part. Remember that. Looking at the previous, like let's say if you're looking at a 4 hour, you're looking at um the previous day, right? What happened the previous day? If you're looking at a daily chart, you're still looking at what happened the previous day. If you're looking at a weekly, you're looking at what happened the previous week. So it's important. It's important to look at where and why and you know where they got in that day and where they exited, right? What they were doing that day. So somebody asks, is there a scanner set up for finding swings? No, not really. You can look at for swings is if you really want to use a scanner. I don't use a scanner. I just look up all these names, and then I choose out of like a basket of like 30, and then I pick those, right? But you can always look online, look for stocks that have been having some high volume for the week or for the day. In our group, we have a scanner in our group that lets you find out everything there is in the markets, like freaking open interest, things like that. All the volume that's been happening today, what's been running today, what's the ratio of people buying calls and puts, all that stuff. We have that, and but that's besides the point. Just understand, so you guys understand this price action for this, right? As to why this thing was signaled. right? So next, I'm gonna go on to the next one, which is, what was the next one? So the next one is Yeti. I'm gonna see why I'm gonna show you guys why I called out Yeti. So Yeti, I wasn't too sure about Yeti, but this could be a play. There's not really too much volume, but what I can see is that there is a small gap for it to fill, and it attempted to fill it. But I was also looking at the price action from the past 3 days, seeing this little bullish run. So this stock doesn't usually have a lot of volume to begin with in the first place. So it's kind of one of those names where it's like, all right, if it hits, then it hits. And then looking at the 4-hour chart, it doesn't look too bad. It just looks like it did hold, right? It holds some sort of support for the day. So there are buyers there sitting there. So the only reason why I called this one out was because of the potential gap fill. And the fact that it's getting so close to it is an even better confirmation of, just looking to see if it does hit or not. AMD, was looking at AMD. Let me see what they. Tuesday, 9:46. So on Tuesday, you guys see this pattern? Right, so it formed that pattern, okay? It attempted to break out that day, okay? It attempted to break out, but there is that key level of support here that it is holding. So looking at the overall market and how bullish it's been, and looking at the previous price action on AMD, looking at all of these freaking breakouts, right? What happened the last time it broke out? Can you guys tell me what happened the last time it broke out? Like here, you guys see this? It gapped up, right? It gapped up. And look at what happened today, too. It gapped up today, right? Today it gapped up. So I was like, you know what? AMD swings looking to pay off by the end of the week. So today definitely paid off for AMD. Today had a crazy run before it kind of sold off, right? Before it sold off. Before about an hour and a half, it had a crazy run, right? So this is one of those things where it's like, okay, looking at this pattern, it broke out like crazy, right? You know why this thing sold off? Because it couldn't break that top, and it struggled. That's why. Look at the level now. What do you guys think is gonna happen once it breaks this? It already tried twice, multiple times. I'm sorry, tried multiple times. What do you guys think is gonna happen once it breaks this level? Right? Hopefully, what we're gonna see is this just shooting up, right? Shooting up, or not even shooting. It doesn't even have to shoot up. Honestly, all it has to do before tomorrow's open is sort of go up here and test this level multiple times. Do you guys know the reason why these levels test? Do you guys know the whole psychology behind it? The whole price action behind it? Why these levels consolidate at support? and why it consolidates at resistance? Do you guys know why? So the reason why these things hold support and hold resistance, right? If it holds support, this means that this level is strong enough where buyers are sitting there, right? They're sitting there and they're preventing the price from going down. It's literally all supply and demand, right? What you're waiting for is you're waiting for the demand to overcome the supply, so the price just shoots, right, in either direction, wherever you want it to go, right? So that's all you're waiting for, is for people to start buying it up, right? People to start buying it up and pushing the price even higher, okay? Because eventually sellers get tired. Someone asked, example, when a candle breaks a support or breaks a resistance area. Okay, right here. There it is. Resistance, candle broke. Formed a flag, gapped up. It's a perfect example. It's not one of those things where it just kept running, but this is an example of some good price action, okay? So going into, for when you guys are, so, you know, I showed you guys the swing and I showed you guys why I called them out. Understand that, you know, the more reasons why the more reasons on the price action that it shows you as to why you should get into it is usually the best time. If it looks too good, you can just be like, okay, this looks way too good. Like, I don't know if I should get into it. But I mean, like in this case, it's literally a simple bull flag on support. It's just one of those textbook, right? Textbook examples, and you're looking at it from a higher time frame. So the likelihood of it going in your direction is increased even higher, right? Because what you're doing now is you're giving it more time, okay? Also, when you guys are starting to look for swings, like for example, tonight, when you guys look on your charts tonight and look for something to swing, okay? Watch how the overall market is doing first before you decide on the direction, right? If you're gonna look at A and B, if you're gonna look at a swing for A and B, kind of look at how NVIDIA is doing, right? How Intel is doing, right? So look at these names because they're all connected, right? Even though they're competing with each other, they're all connected in some way because they fall under the same industry, right? They're all semiconductors. Just like how if you want to swing UNH, right? You want to swing UNH, you know, look at everything else, right? Look at B, right? Look at what B's been doing, for example. Look at what CVS has been doing, for example. So look at everything else. So CVS, look at this. This is a break above resistance. That's what a break above resistance is. It's as simple as this is as simple as it gets. Right? What do you guys think will happen to CVS? So with CVS, we might see it form something how UNH formed, like a bull flag, right? It might form a bull flag down here and then shoot up. But if I'm already swinging UNH, I'm expecting CVS to just go all the way up here. Maybe all the way up here before it even decides to pull back, right? Sometimes it doesn't pull back by itself. Sometimes it pulls back due to some news. So that's something you kind of have to try to figure out too, if there's been news that's happening with the stock, right? As you're looking at it. This thing is actually looking pretty nice. I want to say yes. Whoa. Broke out of the bull flag really nicely right here. So this looks like it's just the beginning of a run for CVS, to be honest. I mentioned a sector rotation on healthcare, and I think it's going to happen. If I'm right, then that would be insane. Maybe we're gonna see some money getting allocated into healthcare, but we never know. So after the swings that I showed you guys today, can you guys type down what you learned on what to look for when you're looking at swings? For let's say today, when you are going out to see, your chart, if you're charting tonight, for an hour, 30 minutes, whatever, however long you want to chart for, what are you going to be looking for swings? What time frame did I mention? Especially for HD and UNH. Yep. 4 hours usually a good time frame to look at things too. So I want you guys to go to after this. About to end it soon. After this, so I want you guys to go out and try to find some stocks that you think, based on your analysis, is gonna happen. And I want you guys to post it in the classroom right here, right in the room. I'm gonna make a channel here. I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name it Swing Play Practice, and I want you guys to type everything here, right? Take a screenshot of it and post it here, and try to put some analysis and thought behind it, right? Put some analysis and thought behind it, and if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're gonna see why you're wrong. You're not gonna just be wrong because you're wrong. There should be a reason why you're wrong, right? There might be news. Sometimes your analysis can be on point, but if the news hits, then all that is out of the table, right? Out of the picture. You know what I mean? So let me go over one more thing before we go. You can also, if you really wanted to, use the TTN squeeze. Sometimes it'll show you that it's a good opportunity. It's just one of those factors that just add on to your analysis. Like, for example, with HD, it didn't really tell me much on the 4 hours, so I wouldn't have relied on that. AMD definitely showed something on the weekly here. Like these types of squeezes are crazy accurate, right? I'm sorry. See? These red dots on the bottom, right? So watch for these red dots and then wait for that first green dot, and then you enter based on that release and based on everything else that you see that's going on with the name. Okay. Like knock. You guys see what knock is doing? What's knock doing on the weekly? What has it already done though? How many has it already released? So what are we expecting? We're expecting this to run even more, right? Look at AMD. Compare NOC to AMD. How many weeks did it go up? So looking at NOC is definitely going to be a good play. I'm not sure how much the price of the contracts are, but this is definitely something I'm going to be looking at. Something I'm going to be looking at tomorrow to just go about 2-3 months out. So that's it for today, guys. Remember to go here, swing plate practice, and figure out some swings, right? Figure out some swings, do analysis. That's the key. That's the most important part about today is analysis, right? We're not gonna focus on contracts, which to buy. We're gonna focus on whether you know how to read the price action. If you can't read price action, why do you want to learn how to buy the contract, right? You know what I mean? So I'm here. If you just type in here if you guys need help with it. But it's pretty self-explanatory after what I just explained the whole time. So look at maybe 5 to 10 different ones. 5 to 10 is good because then it gives you more to practice on. You know what I mean? You might see something on your sixth one that you missed on your second one. So you go back to your second one and you add what you learned on the sixth one. And then that second one could be, one of those golden swing opportunities, and then everybody else can get into it. So hope you guys learned a thing or two today, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Today was pretty good. Showed you guys how to find swings. Okay, that's how I personally find it. Okay, that's how I got these 5 out of 5 signals. Okay, people literally charge hundreds of dollars to freaking just show you the signal, not even show you how it's done. They will never show you how it's done. Me, I don't care. I'll show you. And I don't really care. You know what I mean? There's money to go around for everybody. You know what I mean? There's enough money in the markets for everybody to eat. Okay? I don't see the reason why people wouldn't show this type of stuff. It's like it's literally key. So you guys have a good rest of your day, and be safe tonight.